We are very excited to bring and welcome to the stage, the podcast stage, the YouTube stage, everywhere that we are. I would call you my soul sister, and this is actually kind of funny because, you know, the name of your business. But I'd like to introduce Stacey Vanderber. You are based in the US, so it's really exciting that we can even coordinate a time to have a chat. I'm in New Zealand, you're in the US, that makes it kind of challenging. And I'm just going to introduce you a little bit about what I know about you, how we met. So we met in 2019, San Diego.
18.
2018. Oh, crikey. Well, it's definitely been too long between meetups then. So we met at URSA and also WIFA, Women in Fitness Association. They had one of their very first live meetups, which was absolutely, for me, absolutely awesome. I remember, you know, speaking with you at both URSA and at WIFA, and I just felt like we had such a great connection. And our thing is, we both love bar workouts.
Very much so.
And to the point where we both created something for the world to enjoy the way that we love working out. So I'm going to hand it over to you so you can share your journey into the fitness industry, how you got to where you are today. And then I've got some big questions coming up, but I'll leave it to you now.
Awesome. Trace, you know what? I love that you introduced me as a soul sister, even though we've only been together physically 2 times and we don't talk that much, but there are people in your life that you meet and you have this connection. There's this energy that you share immediately. And I definitely felt that too. So I'm really excited and honored to be here on your podcast. I love your theme. As soon as I saw it, connected with me immediately. What do? I have started a business in fitness, which brought us together. My business is SoulBody Fitness. And SoulBody Fitness now, which started in barre, is group fitness programming. Group fitness programming that takes a more mindful approach, the mind-body approach, but creates programs and classes, group fitness classes that are a little bit more on trend, a little bit more ahead of the curve. What was happening in the boutique studio space was not available for group fitness in health clubs and associations and rec centers. So that was where we definitely saw a problem. And if you're going to start a business, you better make sure you're solving a problem, right? That started. We started training instructors and developing. We started training instructors in 2015, was our first training. We worked with merit clubs in the United States, a very well-known club in the fitness industry over here. And, but in 2010 is when I started teaching barre. I fell in love with it. I discovered it. I'm in Baltimore, Maryland, so very close to New York, and I travel to New York often. Before 2010, I was teaching Pilates. I have a personal absolute love and affection for that method. When I started teaching, actually even before I started teaching, because I've always been fitness, but for a personal level and satisfaction, I was approached and said, do you teach? Have you ever thought about teaching? And that's when I kind of got very serious about it. I do enjoy being with people. I think I easily connect with them. And I also like helping people. And that's, we'll talk about where that's kind of turning as we get older. But it just is something that is a natural tendency for me. I've always kind of been one of those people that likes to take someone who needs help, support, advice, and I get involved and I go there. Yeah.
So were you always in the fitness industry, or do you want to tell us a little bit, like, how did you got approached, obviously, but you must have like looked the part. The approach, because that's I like that one. So honestly, since a young child or young girl, around age 13, I was always in the arts, very creative person.
I just was very aware of my body at a young age. And I started running, believe it or not, in 7th grade before school. And just that physical fitness was just in my mind, in my body. I always felt good. I had always exercised since 13, like on my own. And also health, nutrition. It was just something I was very aware of from the very beginning. I mean, even in college, I was like working at the co-op with all the natural foods. Just really important to me. So to fall into fitness was not difficult for me at all as a profession. And actually, when we started, I had a business partner at the time, Anne-Marie Barber, and we actually were modeling our barre method, as well as really kind of coaching and helping and leading people in nutrition. We did a lot of work with local companies that were doing, healthy juices and meal plans. So, it's in the beginning, as any business, or not even business, you start getting into something that you love and you're passionate about. You start trying to find its path. And then in 2015, it was like something clicked. Again, Merit Clubs came to us and we started doing a research. At the time, we had just barre. And we realized that there were lots of barre programs or trainings out there, but no one was doing the choreography, the content, providing content after training. So that was kind of like the problem solution right there. And then as we started getting deeper into the fitness industry on a health club level, not the boutique side, we realized that that whole relevant, new, on-trend style classes were not really being developed for the health clubs to implement so that they could compete with the boutiques. It doesn't take a whole lot. It's just having that mindset to be able to implement new programming, be aware of what's going on. We definitely took the licensing fees out of our model, which was a barrier to entry. And especially now, it's fabulous as the world starts to reopen, and clubs really need to pay attention to their budget. So now we have 4 programs. We're on our way to developing our 5th, and it's all more mind body focused. Even our HIT program, which is SoulBody Power, has a mindful approach to it.
I really love that, because I do believe that that's the direction of fitness, for the longevity of fitness and for the longevity of us doing it. We are there more for how it makes us feel than how it makes us look. Like, I've really noticed this, and this is really interesting because we had the WEFA She Runs the World run in the weekend. And as I was running along, I wasn't focused on my pace, even though I had to, tell them what my 5K pace was going to be. I was not focused on that. I was thinking about, why have I run so long? Just like you, I started running really young, and I would get up in the morning, go for a run. I would train like at 12. Like, who does that? Like, when you're not actually competing, you're just going to go for a run.
See, I told you we're soul sisters.
I told you it. Stacey, Tracy, running, and barre. Right. Anyway, where I was going with this is, as I'm running, I'm thinking about, why have I been running for this long, and why is it something that I continue to love? And through the ages, what's happened is I do exercise, or I do activity for how it makes me feel and how it helps my mind. So it's absolutely amazing that all your programming, Soul, Body, Barre, is that combination of bringing together the physicality, but really producing something that's great for how it makes you feel and touches your soul. So I really feel connected to, what you're trying to achieve. So I just wanted to.
And I think that's the reason our programs are successful. Once they're implemented into clubs, the capacity of the classes is very high. And I think because of the way I approach fitness, I know that if I'm going to do a 45-minute, 50-minute, 55-minute class, it better be effective. It better be something that was worth my time. So I think the model of how we, even though I have different directors now for each program, I kind of oversee and make sure that they're in the direction of what we originally created, right? And that they're speaking to the health club member. And going back to your comment about longevity and health and fitness, there's something that I love that Mark Hyman, I don't know if you know Dr. Mark Hyman, he's fantastic. And he talks about our lifespan is very long now, but our health span is something quite different. And that is the span of time that you're actually healthy. And exercise, diet, yes, but exercise is also part of it. If you can get out of a chair at 80 years old, there's no reason you have to go to a nursing home, right? So the exercise is something, and yes, it will change, but you still need to move.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. One of the things that we also have in common is that we're still here in the fitness industry. And from my experience, the fitness industry it youthfies fitness. So when it comes to marketing, you'll see predominantly younger people, muscles, all that type of thing. And I think there is a shift. Obviously, I think the pandemic really helped and highlighted the mental wellness of the mental health aspect of working out. But you still don't see a lot of marketing towards women who are getting older. And what's really unique is that we know a lot about our bodies and we know how to look after ourselves. We have massive education, and there's a lot of information that we can tap into on the nutrition side and the wellness side. But when it comes to sort of training, there isn't really anything, like I'm putting it out there that I'm 50 and, being soul sisters, you probably are there too.
Yeah, yes. Absolutely, girlfriend.
Yeah, but I think one of the other things that we share is that through our journey in the fitness industry and as we age, there are other things that we bring to the fitness industry. And I wanted you to share, how you feel your role is in the fitness industry now, because this is really the meat of our discussion today.
Yeah, I like that. So I have definitely seen a need in the fitness industry, specifically our vertical of group fitness. Group fitness definitely plays on that image of a certain body type, a certain age, even a certain race. And that is starting, thank God, to change. And I'm very proud that we have a platform for that. And it's one thing that I get complimented on a lot. If you look at our master trainers, if you look at our directors, they're not all fitting that perfect model. And that's not what we're trying to achieve here. We're trying to achieve workouts that will speak to the majority, right? That people can feel really good about. They finish their workout and they say, wow, I accomplished something. I feel really good. I got all the good hormones working and moving. And we get complimented for that outside of our business. I have to share with you, we are doing a campaign right now for our master trainers and ambassadors to talk about what SoulBody Fitness means to me. And so they have to send in a video, 1 to 2 minutes, of what it is. And again, this is all of our master trainers and ambassadors. Not a huge team. We're a small team, mighty team, but a small team. But the videos that are coming in, some of them actually brought a tear to my eye because I didn't even realize what we have been creating and what is, right here on the table. It's beautiful. It has opened up opportunities for all the things that I was just listing. And that to me is really, really special. I know that we have accomplished a big feat right there, just alone. Not let alone, take aside all the cool the programs that we're designing, but we're actually filling a really beautiful need and gap in the group fitness vertical, that to me is really, really special.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I'm hoping that you'll pop some of those onto your Instagram feed so I can enjoy them and
okay.
and today, your role as CEO and co-founder or founder? Owner.
Well, CEO and owner.
All of
right.
Doesn't matter because we're not about the titles, but there
doesn't matter. Actually, I love that you said it doesn't matter because we are a flat structured company. I talk about that often. That I've got an immediate team and we all make decisions together.
Yep. And I would agree that I can absolutely see that that's the case. But and also having said that, I would say that a lot of your team look to you for leadership. So from your perspective, what are some of the top tools that you use to help lead and grow and guide your team today?
Oh, good question. I think one of them is definitely, and probably one of the biggest ones is being very sincere and honest when I have something that I want to share, a thought, it's good, or even feedback. There's no, can I curse? No BS.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't be the first because every other person that I've had on here or up to episode 9 has just gone for it. So off you go.
Okay, so no bullshit. And the team that we have, again, it's small, but it's mighty. And they all are the same way. There's no bullshit. We're really quite honest with each other. We come from a good place because we want everyone to feel empowered and know that they have opportunity. I think another really important quality or skill that you have to have is listening. It's like that quote, stop talking. Stop talking. And I actually, and sometimes it's hard for me because my brain is spinning and I have all these ideas and I want to say it before I forget about it, but it's just stop talking. Let them maybe share their experiences or their ideas. And again, that flat structure format, I really think allows for creativity and innovation more so than this is my role and this is your role and this is your role. So anyway, let's see what else. Take risks. Don't fear. And this is one thing that I love talking about for women in particular is I think, and you and I talked about this at another time before, but I think most women in their DNA, they have a natural tendency not to take risks. And I think some of it is social. Some of it is just women's place and a man's place, right? Which is totally changing. And it's beautiful to see. But I also do think it's part of our DNAs. We just, men and women are different. And most women, I'm not going to say all, but a lot of women just fear taking risks and what women, what others are going to think of them. Where men are just like, they'll just do it and they mess up. Oh, well, just do something else. I'll just do something else, right? So this is one thing that I feel like is very important in having a company is keep your pulse on the finger, keep your finger on the pulse of what's going on and take risks. If it doesn't work, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I agree with you on the risk thing because I feel like as we get older, and I know I bring that up a few times, but one of the menopausal symptoms that I had, if I could just share, was I started to lose my confidence. Yeah. And so when you talk about risk taking and when you're in the fitness industry, and particularly in boutique fitness, where everything is about trend and what's next and how can you stay ahead of the curve and also how can you keep your community committed to you with giving them lots and lots of different ideas and things to do.
Yes.
And I'm going through, perimenopause and starting to doubt myself and question myself and forget to write things down and all those things in a very fast-paced environment. I think that one of the things that I also learned, which you talked about, is that through it, even though I had these moments of doubt and lack of confidence, I did take the risk, but I was also a lot kinder on myself. So I think I hit it out of the park 80% of the time. And there was 20% where I went, oh shit, that didn't work out.
Yeah.
What did I learn? And there's another thing.
Exactly.
You know, your mind gets there a lot faster. Oh, I messed up. What did I learn? Oh, I need to apologize. I'm good with that. You know, so that's one of the things I celebrate about the stage of our lives that we're at, and particularly that we're in the same industry. You know, the risk taking, the move quickly, the listening to what younger people have to share with us about some ideas, and the learning opportunities for us. You know, the old dog, new tricks sort of thing. It's like celebrating the opportunity to learn all the time and keep learning. And especially, I think this is a really important time for fitness with technology, you know, that we stay relevant. And you obviously had that big moment last year, so congratulations, putting everything on.
Thank you. Yeah, we you know, I'll use the word pivot, but we did. I mean, you know, we quickly shifted our sails and we're able to do it very easily, because we already had such great content and education. To turn it over to digital wasn't like rocket science or starting from scratch. But going back to that risk and going back to educating and mentoring the younger set to take those risks, because think about it. What if you had that gut at 20? What if you had that gut at 30, right? And I think about that often. And I'm not one to like to look back on things. Like, it's constantly move forward. There are things ahead of you. The past. But if we can educate and mentor the younger set, even you and I have daughters. I definitely, I have twin daughters, 17. Do not hold yourself back. If you mess up, it is okay. And I do think there is, I do think they're more confident than maybe we were, just because of our society. But I do want the young women, to have that confidence to take risks. And I think that comes from education. That's the societal part, like where we have to come in and say, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
No, I agree with you on that. We have, you know, daughters about the same age, and I feel it's my role to give her as much information and insight into the opportunities and the support mechanism. Hey, if you mess up, I'm here. It's okay. Let's talk it through and let's figure out what we could have done better. So it's exciting to watch, because even though, like, my daughter's only 16, she is streaks ahead of where I was at 16. You know, and it's so exciting. I think I'm going to slay it, girl. You know, and she's actually not into.
That's what I say to my girls. That's what I say. I'm like, God, I wish I had that confidence. But we still have to, you know, like you and I are both probably doing a very good job of providing that platform too, and saying, hey, here it is. Get out there, do it. And you know, I think that's really, really important. But that's our role. And you know, as a business owner, and having a team, that is one of my roles as well. I have people younger than me, and I want to create opportunities for them, and I want them to see what they can bring to the table. You know, one of them came to me and said, you know, I love that you're providing opportunities for the Black female in group fitness. And I was like, bring it on. I'm like, I don't care what color you are. Bring it on. You have passion, you have drive, you have knowledge, you have experience, you have a dedication and commitment to our brand. Bring it on, sister. I'm all ears. So it's kind of, you know, what we do.
It's what we do, exactly. And you know, I've always had this mantra: make someone better than yourself, and then you know that you've been successful. So there is sort of through the 20s and 30s that end game of I need to make myself successful and get the recognition. At some point, it changes when you start to coach and train other people and see them rise to the surface and know that your purpose now is to make people better than yourself. So that's your legacy, right?
Yes, that's great. That's a great way to put it. That is a great way to put it. Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to get into some nitty gritty. We
Uh-oh.
talked on, we're obviously we know our bodies really well. We're in the fitness industry, so physical exercise is definitely something that helps us physically, mentally, and emotionally. And I am passionate about the science of menopause to the point where I just study it a lot, and I study it for myself, and then realize that all my friends didn't know anything either. so, and hence the podcast. Now, I'm still not putting myself out there as the expert, but I think what's really important in this podcast is that we share our insights and experiences. So from one fitness professional to another, what's your experience?
Oh, that's a good one. We talked about this off air as well. I wake up and I'm thankful that I woke up. Like, thank you, Jesus, that I just woke up and I have another day, right? Like, woo. But I have a lot of energy, and I don't care. I might be a 32-year-old in a 50-year-old body. I don't know, but I go. Yeah, right. And so I have witnessed a change in my body as far as ability to exercise the same way. And I definitely honor that for sure. But it was not something that I really started paying attention, because in my 30s and 40s, I just kept on going. I kept on going. I don't know if I went through midlife crisis. I don't know if I ever had like a depression, or I was a real high. I don't know. But now I do know that my body is changing and I need to start tuning in. And that is where that's where I stand. I mean, I don't have a lot of answers. I think I'm just getting there. But I'm honoring the change that is happening in my body. I'm even honoring it, not even through exercise, like low impact, like our power class. I was just saying to one of the co-directors, it's like, okay, I'm going to film low intensity interval training. And I just did this class and I absolutely loved it. And I was like, I can think of 1,000 people that would absolutely love what I just designed. So, but I honor it. And I don't think anything negative from it. I still feel good mentally. I also feel that there needs to be an adjustment in diet. Things shift, your body feels differently. I have definitely paid more attention to supplements, more vitamins, things that I may not be getting in my food. Your immune health is extremely, extremely vital, especially we're learning that even through this whole crisis that we've just experienced. It's all about immunity and self-immunity. So those are my experiences so far as I'm entering in this new phase for the first time paying attention.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, Stacey. So I'll just put a little bit of where I'm up to now so we can share, and you might notice it. When I go to sleep, I'll wake up in the night and my hands and feet tingle. And I used to think it was because of a lot of exercise that I was doing, and I pretty much stopped that type of exercise, like a lot of exercise at the end of last year, and I relocated to New Zealand, and I really haven't picked up the quantity of workouts that I was doing before. So now I'm really noticing what's happening to my body, and so I lie in bed and I can feel like hot pins and needles sensation in my hands and feet, and that's like been quite recent. So I'm like, oh, instead of getting all worried and frustrated about it, apart from when it wakes me up in the night, I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. That is one of the symptoms. I wonder what the association is and what's happening in my body. What am I eating? What am I not eating? Am I drinking enough? So I start the question list, and then I'm like, okay, this is cool. This is another thing that I'll get to explore, and I'll find out. I'm going to find out for the listeners, what's up with that.
Good for you. So you're taking ownership. You're taking ownership of the change, which is really what we have to do. Yeah.
I've got one more question for you. So you because we're so similar, and I feel like you've got this like checklist of things that you do to make yourself feel really good. So what rituals do you have that help you stay grounded and connected to who you are today?
You know what? The first thing that comes to my mind to stay grounded is my family. I'm a mom of 4 kids, which is a lot. You have 4?
I was celebrating your 4. I'm just 2, and that's plenty. I mean, have you met my son?
Right.
We're done.
No, I have 4. Actually, the third pregnancy was a surprise, and it was twins. So that's how it happened. We were not planning to say, hey, let's have 4 children. But I have 2 boys that are just fabulous. They're in college, and they're just off to really amazing things. I feel it. I sense it. And then the twin girls, I got 2 girls. I just love them to death, and I can eat them up. And they're super cool. And my husband, who has supported me from day one of starting this business and has watched me cry and laugh and struggle and pull my hair out and also enjoy, what I have created. So the first thing that comes to mind, and I think it's really important for everyone, is to find that that family connection. I think those are the people closest to you. And I do believe like blood is thicker than water, right? Like those are the people that are going to protect you. So to stay grounded, that's definitely the first thing that comes to mind. And then after that, I will say, I mean, it's movement. Movement keeps me grounded. If I miss, like when I'm traveling and I can't, like those fitness conferences would drive me crazy because it wasn't the same, right? And it's been kind of nice, like to have a break, and we're not going like 10 conferences a year or all over the place. The movement is really, really grounds me and makes me feel whole and connected, definitely.
Oh, thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that. I always ask my guests about a recommended book or a course that you've read or enjoyed lately.
Actually, I am on a book right now. Oh my God, I listen to it all day. And I just Robert Igor. Oh my God, no, Trace, what is it called? This is menopause. This is 50. This is the ride of a lifetime. God, I couldn't think of it. I listened to it. This is the former CEO of Disney, and it's about leadership and his 10 principles. I have our monthly call. We have a monthly call with our big team, right? So we have the master trainers, ambassadors, anybody that's kind of involved, directors. We have once a month we meet, aside from the weekly calls with the directors. And I'm sharing this with them because the 10 principles of leadership are just one's as beautiful as the next. And I think I listened to it about a dozen times. The skills, the 10 skills that he lists, they're really, really beautiful. So Ride of a Lifetime is what I'm really enjoying right now. And I'm about to start the book Grit, which I can't remember the author's name, but it in this fast-paced moving world. And this is actually another thing of going back to leadership and mentoring. As much as our hard skills are so important, our soft skills are even more important right now. Soft skills, empathy, allowing for creation, listening. These are really going to carry over even more so as we are moving so fast. The changes that are taking place are so fast. And I think sometimes you have to kind of step out of, like I have to remove myself sometimes from LinkedIn because it's just a whirlwind of like, of tech. there is a human component to all this, and we cannot forget about it. I'm witnessing it right now as clubs, are open here in my area. You know, there's a whole return to socialization. Thank God. But those soft skills are just as important if you're going to have a business successfully, as much
Yeah.
as the hard skills.
Yes. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I 100% agree with you on that one. That was always my husband and I, our duality of leadership. He was very strategic and operational, and I was all about the people, and that worked really well for us. So yeah,
That is great.
Appreciate what
That
you're
is
saying.
great. Yeah.
Hey, Stacey,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
so awesome to have spent this time with you, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you in person again soon. Who knows
I
where?
cannot wait.
Well,
I
I've already
cannot
liked
wait. You know what?
For 2023, I've got 2 dance floor dates for 2023. One's in LA and one's in Ibiza. And yeah, we could do that.
All right. Well, let me know when you go and I'll meet you there.
Yeah. Awesome.